a press announcement on a major project that draws this much of a crowd. To our friends and investors, this is the norm here in this community. Whether it's an announcement for a project or the opening of a small business, this community's leaders turn out in force as a way to welcome people. So hopefully this is the first of many times you can experience the hospitality of Auburn and Lewis and Auburn. To announce an exciting redevelopment of the building at 67 and 81 Maine Avenue. Some of you probably locally know it as the Barn Building. Those of you with a love of history will know it as the Lunn and Sweet Shoe Shop. Attending today's event, we have Ms. Shi and her investment team from China to share with us their vision for this exciting project. And at the conclusion of remarks and the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Ms. Shi's investment group and the Asian Doctor Group of China, there will be question and answers for the full project team. To start, provide a bit of an overview of the project. Some of you may have seen some early media reports. This is a project unlike any other seen in the state of Maine, seen in New England, and one of very few that have been seen in the United States. First to the property, the Lunn and Sweet Shoe Shop is one of the few remaining historic shoe shop buildings in the city of Auburn. Longtime residents may recall Maine Avenue once stopping at the intersection with Court Street, and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of square feet of shoe factories made their home there. Slowly those, because of disinvestment or lack of investment, found the wrecking ball. Some were lost to fire. This project creates an opportunity to bring new life to a historic asset in the downtown of Auburn. 100 years ago, that building was built. It was in full force in 1914, powered by the Androscoggin River. The Libby and Dingley Dam, now known as the Deer Rips Dam, was constructed and offered a ton of power from the river to open up factories throughout Lewis and Auburn, but in particular in Auburn. That approach to using the river ultimately led to the destruction of the river. And many of you probably know 40 plus years ago that river was so polluted it couldn't even support life. There were no fish in that river. It peeled paint off buildings. And what's amazing is that same river brought back to life by the Clean Water Act and environmental improvements in this country. That clean water and the environment of Maine and of Lewis and Auburn has become the major attractor for our investment partners to look to our community. That clean air and clean water open up that investment opportunity. The proposal we're here to discuss is the full redevelopment and restoration of the Lunn and Sweet Shoe Shop into a 5-star quality healthcare facility. Ms. Shi and her team have entered into an agreement with Central Maine Medical Center, and we're pleased to have the folks from Central Maine Healthcare and Central Maine Medical Group here as partners. So that going forward, the healthcare facility will be used to serve as a high-end recovery center for patients treated at Central Maine Medical Center, as well as overseas, mainly Chinese clients who are looking for a tourism medical experience. Some of you may wonder why Auburn, why Lewis and Auburn, and I can assure you those who ask that question are those who have not opened their eyes to the assets of this community. While we have a beautiful riverfront, rising arts and cultural scene, Lewis and Auburn is uniquely positioned with easy access to the coast of Maine, with easy access to the western mountains. And this project, the investment team, has recognized the unique position of this community. And we're certainly thankful that they recognize that and hope that their recognition will help others in this community see the same. There's a vision project to initially be successful business people from mainland China who have the capacity to spend on healthcare access in this country and later expand that to their network of friends and family. These clients will be sourced both through Ms. Xi's clientele network and their partner Agent Doctors Group from China. There's a projection that at least 80 new jobs will be created when the facility opens. This does not count the spin-off opportunities we fully expect to happen as the facility goes through development and opening. And there's a projection that at least 50% of those would be filled through the local labor market. Some staff will be recruited from other parts of the world with an ability to speak both English and Mandarin to better serve the Mandarin clients at the facility. Right now, the projected total cost of the project is between $30 and $40 million. In terms of timetable, the team plans to kick off environmental cleaning work for both the interior and exterior of the property immediately. As has been the case with old industrial facilities, in particular in New England, environmental cleanup is always step one. We're fortunate, Auburn staff, our economic development team have always been ahead of the curve, and a lot of the initial environmental assessments have been done, so it was very clear to the investment team the opportunity of that facility, and it really demonstrates the importance of doing that advanced planning to make sure when investors arrive, we're ready to partner with them. There is an expectation that the planning work for the property and the services provided will happen in parallel with the environmental cleanup work, and that it would take a total of 2 months to finish the cleanup work and move towards construction and full redevelopment. The projection right now is that full redevelopment will be completed within 24 months, which is an ambitious timeline, but we're all confident that many of those moving parts will be well coordinated. This is only the first project that Ms. Xi's team is advancing, with an expectation that Maine and New England hold opportunity for them to grow their business. And of course, we're very pleased that they chose to start in Maine and to choose Auburn and Lewis and Auburn as their first community to invest. There will be other opportunities besides the healthcare services, which to me is one of these exciting opportunities not fully fleshed out, and that's the research and development aspects of the investment team and their interest in life sciences and the opportunities for partnerships with local firms, but also companies within the state of Maine for life sciences research and development. Ms. Xi and her domestic business partners, including the Agent Doctor Group, will soon kick off a series of marketing efforts to attract additional investors from China for the future development, of course, in healthcare, not just in Auburn, but also in Maine. And certainly they will be able to speak more to that. At this time, for an overview of Miracle Enterprise LLC, the name for the investment group for the Lunn and Sweet Shoe Factory, I'd like to invite Ms. Michelle Zhu to come forward as a representative of the management.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michelle Zhu, a director at Miracle Enterprise. On behalf of Ms. Xi, the chairlady of our group, as well as the rest of my team, we welcome you to today's press conference and we thank you for your time. Our group has a number of healthcare initiatives in China. We operate through 20 subsidiaries on the provincial level and another 100 subsidiaries on the city level. We focus on genetic and stem cell studies, and we specialize in prevention, early detection and treatment of tumor, cancer and other chronic diseases, stem cell storage and reproduction technologies, as well as anti-aging treatments. We have our own specialist team consisting of scientists and R&D staff. Through our own network, as well as our business partners, we have access to a huge client base in China, and this will be a shared client base with the upcoming facility here in Maine. Because a large number of our existing customers have expressed a strong interest in receiving medical treatments overseas. We are extremely excited about this project. Through a series of restoration work and new developments, we wish to bring back the glory of this magnificent building and give it a brand new vision. As our first overseas medical tourism project, we're determined to make it a successful precedent for many more investments to come here in Maine. Thank you so much.
To speak to the partnership to be developed and as is in place now on behalf of the representative,
front. But we're so pleased to be part of this and working with this sheet now for several months, and having that Mr. Lee just recently. I think that this is going to be a very exciting project and a real asset to our community. Central Maine's Medical Center, it's interesting, as Jonathan was talking, and the age of that building, the age of the city, and then I looked to our own institution here, and Central Maine Medical Center was started in 1891. So we have grown as the City of Auburn and Lewiston have grown, and at the Medical Center now, I think something that was attractive to the principals was the services that we've developed over the years that weren't here, quite frankly, 20, 30 years ago, but we have an extensive heart program now. We have a very sophisticated cancer program, very sophisticated orthopedic programs, neurosurgery, to name just a few. So we operate as a full-service tertiary level hospital, and we can provide the medical needs of the clients of this particular facility. In addition to that, I see other opportunities. The folks that will be visiting here hopefully will be able to tour the great state of Maine, and I mentioned to them on one of their last visits that not only do we have our hospital here, but we have 2 hospitals in the western part of our state. They were out ever climbing a mountain and something happened, we have them covered. And we also have about 18 other primary care facilities throughout central Maine and the coast. So we have a lot of access points in our healthcare system that could assist these individuals as they're out enjoying the state. We see this as not only an opportunity to do high-level diagnostics for these clients, high-level treatments. We just mentioned the research potential, and I think there's a tremendous research potential that this project may generate. We have additional mill space that is available that would be ideally suited to various research components. We believe that we're going to learn a lot through this relationship. We hope that the Chinese learn something, and together we're both going to be better at what we do. So we're excited to be part of it. We pledge, Central Maine Healthcare pledges its resources, its energy, its management time to working with the Chinese to make this a very successful project. And anything we can do to help the city or to help the principals of this, we stand ready to help. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I would like to invite up Commissioner George Burgay from the Department of Economic and Community Development to speak a bit about the state's role in the school discussion.
Good morning. It certainly is a fabulous day here in Auburn, Maine. I'm sure a lot of people in this room have heard the governor's theory on welcoming and appreciating private investment capital. And I think there's been a lot of work done, especially by those here. Roland and Alan were the 2 contacts that I had most often, and I know they put a lot of time and effort into this, as have many others. And I think it's an excellent example of when we welcome private investment and we show appreciation for that private investment, then it does come. And we really do welcome you to Maine. Please let this be your official welcome. And we appreciate your choice of the state of Maine for this investment. It's been a fabulous relationship so far. And our first meeting between this group and Janine Carey, who's the president of the Maine International Trade Center, is here as well. It was interesting the other opportunities that are already being discussed with this relationship starting. We have a trade mission, governor's trade mission coming up in October, and I think we see some opportunity through that, and we look to explore that. So again, I would also like to actually mention the state's support on and the timing of the EB5 Regional Center that we've been looking at. We've been exploring an EB5 Regional Center for the state of Maine for a number of years, and it's been interesting because we take a different perspective on the government competing with the private sector, and we had hit a crossroads where an EB5 Regional Center is needed in the state because it's lacking at this time. So we decided the time was right to get that done. And I think there's some cachet for the state to be involved in the regional center. one of the very few in the country. This will be the second, potentially the third, EB5 Regional Center that is operated by a state entity in the country. And there are hundreds of regional centers across the country. And I think that is going to be a great asset for the state of Maine, and it will certainly help this project move forward as well. So again, thank you for bringing jobs to Maine, and thank you for being here.
At this time, we are going to have a formal execution of a memorandum of understanding between two key Chinese parties to this facility, Miracle Enterprise LLC and Agent Doctor Group. A little bit on Agent Doctor Group. They own, operate, and market a number of hospitals and medical facilities in mainland China and have the largest clientele base nationally. Miracle Enterprise is entering into a memorandum of understanding with Agent Doctor Group today to solidify their partnership in relation to the Medical Tourism Center in Auburn, so that going forward, Miracle Enterprise will be able to leverage on Agent Doctor's extensive client network in China, and the two companies will also join force in staff resources and R&D efforts. I've had a number of firsts as mayor of Auburn, but I can say if someone had asked me 4 years ago whether I ever envisioned sort of mediating a press conference where two Chinese companies would come to Auburn City Hall to execute a formal business arrangement, I probably would have said I'd love for that to happen, actually. So this is an exciting, for those of you here in the room, I think a really historic moment, and really make it clear to the folks of Auburn and Lewiston Auburn that the world is flat and that we're open for business. So I'll invite our friends, our colleagues from the Agent Doctor Group and Miracle Enterprise to come forward for the signing